Cheers.
All right, so
for a
welcome everybody. Welcome to
well-deserved
Misfit
fucking
Happy Hour.
beer.
I'm one of your hosts, Ronchero, Ron Friedman. Chris Katie is with us, also your co-host. And
Katie.
today we brought on a special guest, Francy Bautista, who is down in Puerto Rico on the TradeSpace Puerto Rico actual physical site, and trades a lot with Sang Lucci and helps him with one of the funds. And I thought this would be a good person to bring in to have a little interview with. We can get some insights and some dirt on Lucci and get some of his thoughts about what Francy's doing and what Lucci are looking at for their fund. I think it'd be a interesting convo. So I see Chris has got a Bex. Francy, what do you have? What are you drinking today?
Oh shoot, water.
You're disqualified.
DQ'd right off of the bat.
What I just want to know how everybody went through today and is not kind of frustrated and or at the end of their rope with the way they acted. I mean, what is anything that in particular that pissed you off today, Ronch?
Nothing that really pissed me off other than it looks to me like it's just everything is just trying to figure out what it wants to do. Francy and I were just talking about that, and he kind of is of the same opinion. Like there's not a whole lot to do just yet. And I think living through that time frame until something breaks is probably one of the hardest things that a trader has to do. Is when you can't do anything, you feel completely frustrated.
Francy,
And you're looking at every move. Yeah, you're looking at any little move as a potential could be, and then you're like ready with your trigger finger ready to go. So as Ron said, it's for me, it's better to just sit on the sides. I'm just riding both sides and waiting the storm out to see when we get some sign of life so I can actually start doing some stuff again.
You know, I'm starting to think that we really need to be mentally ill to play the game, right? I'm starting to think that logic is a hook. I'm starting to think like you need to literally be out of your mind and trade like you have no rational thought. It's crazy. It's like the world, the markets reward people who are literally crazy these days. Anyway, that's cheers to that. That's like if you're using logical thought as a basis, right? If you're using logical thought as a basis for your trades, you're behind the curve, or you're like the guy at the poker table wondering who the mark is. Like, remember we were saying how like it's like playing chess with a psychopath.
Yeah, drunken
like
psychopath.
They'll just move the piece just to see what you'll do.
Yeah, true.
Anyway,
you don't know how many days I would have been better off if I just left the trades that I had on and just kept as is and not look back. Literally, that's the way you got to trade at this point.
Yep. I mean, it's so easy to say in retrospect. Like, yeah, you bought those, those nickel calls that went out worth $40. Fuckers,
We've seen that
so many times.
So before we get too far down the tracks, Francy, why don't you just take a few minutes to introduce yourself to everybody? Tell us a little bit about your background and what you're doing on the desk down there. And then that gives everybody a little bit more of a platform to work from when we get a little bit of who you are.
Of course. So for the most, everybody, hi, I'm Francy Bautista. I work here at TradeSpace along with Sang Lucci. We built this office space about 2 years now that I look back at it, with the purpose of inviting all types of traders to the office. It's kind of like a co-working space for traders. So you come in here with anything that you know. We offer now education as well. So if you don't know much, you can also start educating yourself in here. But even so, you come in here, you rent your desk, you rent your spot, and then you become part of our community. And by community, I mean, we have a lot of traders here that come from different types of places of the world, meaning from the States, we have people from Europe, South America, people from Central America that come visited, and everybody that comes here comes and shares their own knowledge and trades alongside every other trader that's in here, and it becomes kind of like this center of collection of knowledge of traders that it's such a great environment to be in, because you don't know much, or you think you might know a lot of one certain subject, but the person sitting next to you knows a whole lot of their own stuff. So it becomes a great space for anybody who's serious and dedicated to trading and wants to expand their horizons and wants to keep learning and just keep being in an environment where everybody's just pushing each other forward and learning from each other.
Who's the most deranged person?
It's between Spencer and Lucci, to be honest.
I want to sit between both of those guys, right? I want to be
There's no
right.
space, but I'll get you a share between them. I'll sit you
Yeah,
between
right.
them.
Like, God, right? Like, I just think we need to rewire, make TradeSpace like if you're deranged and you like to trade,
We'll put you in
you
a corner.
right, you have our place here with us, right? Like the logical person need not apply to come trade with this crew. But what's interesting is you talk to Jesus and he says stuff like, you have to trade for the probability, right? Like he's always saying the probability or the high probability trade is the first priority. Do you see it has nothing to do with logic?
Do you see, Chris, when he came in, and Jesus has the uncanny ability timing wise, when he starts talking that way, what he said, I remember from our conversation, was he was looking for, now that we've had this little shuffle, let's look for a pop-up. And then on the pop-up, maybe the big rug pull comes, right? Well, we've had the pop-up now. So is the big rug pull coming or not? That's kind of the next step. So that's, just listening to what he was saying, that's what he was looking for. And here we are after what it is that he, had said he was looking for.
Francy, how long you been trading?
Trading options and stocks about 2 years now. And then before that, I've been trading currencies for about 4 years.
And you still like it, I take it?
I love it.
Yeah. And
I like it. I like the game.
And how do you not bring it home?
How do I now bring it home? I leave it
Yeah.
here. I don't have a computer at home.
Oh, you don't?
No. No, I
Wow.
just have a computer here. I come here to work. As soon as I leave, as soon as I walk through that elevator, I'm out. That's it.
I
I
love
just
it.
check on my phone whenever I have to check, and then I come back to work.
If you keep your sanity.
Yes. Yes. That's why I wouldn't be able to trade crypto, man, because I like my weekends.
Hey, speaking of that, in that office, you have traders that trade all different things, right?
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys, they're like 24/7 kind of a setup, right?
Yeah, there's people in here that are trading pre-market. So we have all types of traders, people that trade small caps and they trade pre-market, people that trade crypto and stay up here all night. They usually don't come in during the day and then they come in during the night. People that just trade scalp in the mornings. So we have a little bit of everything, but there's definitely people missing here with crypto and with NFTs as well.
Do
Is
you
there a
have,
particular, I'm sorry, go ahead,
no, you're
Ronch.
good, Chris, go ahead, go ahead.
Francia, is there a particular personality that's associated with people who trade crypto in that, in your experience? I mean, are they the night owls or are they the people who are the junkies, or is it just that they're tech nerds, or or is there no distinction between people who trade Forex stocks
No,
and or
there is for sure. I would say they're like more hardwired and like they just think differently when it comes to trading and crypto. It's just there's like a different system and you can just tell. I don't know how to describe it, but you can just tell that it's not the same as when you think of equities and you think of trading more stocks, because there's stuff that evolved, there's new stuff being like coming out of crypto every single day that affects the market in a different way, be it that there's a new coin or there's a new thing that it somehow deviates from this, that it becomes a derivative of this and it affects this way, and it's like never ending.
Is it too late to get involved if you're
Nah, just come here. I got
no,
some
no,
guys
I'm
here that'll
saying
teach you.
not necessarily for me, but if someone were to learn trading from, I mean, obviously everybody needs to learn how to trade. You've got 7% inflation. The Fed's not going to raise rates or
Yeah,
very little,
true.
right? So every dollar ever printed has to be traded to get a return. So then it's a question of where you fit your personality. Where does your personality fit with what market? Right, because
If you want,
you're going to have a predisposition. Some people will be predisposed towards the behavior of a particular asset class if they can find it and it fits it dovetails with their personality. And so I'm wondering, is it if the people who haven't gotten into the crypto education knowledge train, is it too late?
no,
Has the train left the station?
nah,
No.
nah, you're still good. You still got time.
Okay.
I think it'll be too late, like in 4 or 5 years when you really want to mash everything up. But right now, you still got time. Things are still being developed, so
And what
don't waste
about
time.
all the stuff being ripped off?
Oh well, out there, I don't know.
Right, like they stole all that ether. What is it, 10 days ago?
I don't know about that. What happened there? Talk to me.
Some wallet, I believe, or exchange got $350 million worth of ether. Oh, 200 wormhole. Someone said a wormhole exploit, 200,000 ether.
What the fuck does that even mean? Wormhole exploit? I don't even know what that means.
So that's my question in regards, is it too late for people like Ronch to get on into the ecosystem?
Yeah,
Right?
it is. Because I'm too old for that shit.
Nah, I think we all have a trader's instinct. We're able to detect all these little scams per se or stuff like that. So I think you're not too late. I think you'll figure it out for sure.
Right. I mean, we can trade, no question. No question. And but no one's ever really stolen our equity. I mean, I had money at
Not
MF
really.
Global, right? And so clearing, so Francie, you've never seen a clearing firm go bust,
I
have
mean,
you?
but you can probably use Spencer has this thing where you can carry your crypto when in like a pen drive or something like that.
Of
So you'll
course,
know that.
right? Right.
So you're
Anyway,
safe
yeah,
there.
I don't mean to belabor the point. I was just curious, from how old are you?
26.
Yeah, I'm 61. I started trading when I was 19 on the floor. So, um,
Oh,
so we've seen a lot of things come and go, right? And so this is a very complicated new thing that's obviously happening, and you can see Ronch's reaction when he's like trying to play catch up as well as the rest of us. Anyway, on to the next topic.
So
Has there been any good surf there? I mean, it hasn't been that cold here.
surf here
Y-
always.
y- Well, not always, right? For you guys to get surf on the North Shore, you need a strong cold front blowing off the East Coast to give you that swell. Do you get in the water at all?
Yeah, I like to kiteboard a lot.
Oh,
So
you're a
that cold front,
kiter.
yeah, I'm a kiter.
Have you been to
So
Shacks?
nah, I've only kited here in the Dominican Republic. I haven't kited outside.
Oh, I mean, I thought you said here in the Dominican Republic. So, I mean,
Here
you're,
and in the Dominican
oh, in
Republic.
the DR at Cabarete,
Yes, and the
right?
south side,
Oh,
Salinas.
you haven't kited the North Shore of
Yeah,
Puerto Rico.
yeah, the North Shore. I mean, I've gone to Ocean Park and I've gone to La Parguera.
Oh,
There's still
okay.
many different places that I gotta go to, but for the
Go to
most part,
Shacks and Hobos, and I don't know if you can get it in.
Hobos. I like Hobos, and
Yeah,
there's good spots in Culebra and Vieques as well. That's where I want to hit next. But
yeah.
right now, to answer your question, the cold front actually takes wind away from me.
Oh, really?
So I
Oh,
hate it.
right.
Yeah, I hate it. And it gives me waves, which I don't want. It's good for surfers, but not good for me. I want flat water and good consistent wind.
Are you riding strapless or are you riding strapped?
Strap.
Oh, you're riding strap. You got to get strapless, my boy.
I want to try it. I definitely want to try it. And a surfboard as well.
Yeah.
I'm on twin tips.
Oh, that's like a no. Stop. You need to be
Wait, do you
strapless.
kite? Do you
No,
kite?
I'm a windsurfer for many years, and so
Why haven't you kited yet though? You can kite if you can windsurf.
I broke 6 ribs in Peru trying to learn.
that'll set you back a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, kiting to me, to people out there, there's a like skiing and snowboarding. There is a sort of a sibling rivalry. We're all friends essentially, and we'll help each other in any times of trouble. And so we do get into these little sort of pissing matches every now and then about windsurfing versus kiting. And now there's wing foiling, which is cooler than
Yeah.
all of us. But in regards, very quickly, kiting is riding around on your heel edge of a snowboard all day, generally speaking, because that's just by hanging on to a kite, you have to
Lean
leverage
back.
against your heels. And so it's like in NASCAR, you can only turn left. On a kite, you can only ride around on your heels for the most part. And so the transition to wing foiling and windsurfing, I guess, would be that you can go both on your toe edge and your heel edge. But that is why I do not kite, because I broke 6 ribs, not because it's heel edge only.
How old were you when you broke those ribs?
Late 40s.
Okay. So do you think you could go back and crack those ribs again at 61?
Sure. Sure. Hey, how did you tweak your back, by the way? Francie, Ronch got somehow worked in Steamboat.
I did. So, it was innocuous. I had a couple of days of skiing and good days. It was hard pack, but you know how it is. You go far right of the trail, far left of the trail, you get away from the people and you get the best snow, right? So
Yeah.
I had a couple of good days like that. And then I was in the village and I was clipping on my boots again for the last day. And on the left-hand side, I went to go buckle the third buckle up and something just went, just a little twinge in my back. And I got up, I got my skis, I skied 2 runs and I was like, doesn't feel right. And then by the time I got home, I was just like completely seized up. And yesterday I had to take the day off and go see the doc and get some relaxation pills for the muscles and kind of have to start a whole nother round of physical therapy just to get back where I was. That's classic old man shit right there.
Francie, keep doing yoga. And if you
For
haven't started,
sure.
I work out every single day, so don't worry about it.
yeah,
But
keep
yoga's
it.
important. Yoga's important. I agree.
Yeah, for real. Sorry about that, Ronch. I'm glad you didn't hit a tree. It was just bending over.
I don't hit trees anymore. I don't ski like
Fucking
that anymore.
people die from collisions
Oh yeah.
and who knows what. And you hit, you're like, I was bending over.
You've got to
So yeah,
recognize quickly. And what's funny is like and some people will push back on this. I think that there is a law of attraction when you ski or when you board, especially when you get onto more popular trails, that people kind of gravitate towards you and I'm not being a dick, but if you're the best one on the hill at that given moment in time, there are people of lesser quality that gravitate towards where you're at. So the thing I always do is I'll ski on one side. I'm not kidding. And people will start coming over where I'm at and I just rip across the trail and then I've got open trail again. Like I can't tell you how many times that happens to me.
Really? That works?
Oh my God, it works all the time.
Huh, I'm
anyway,
gonna try that next time I go.
yeah, I'll ski with a magic crystal. How's that? And I'll get an astrologer to come with me. I mean,
Well, hey, you'll see how it works.
I don't know.
oh, Francie, what do you got for a position? You have anything that you're fighting with or defending or
I'm
anything?
actually sitting pretty chill right now. I just got some Google condors and Tesla condors right now.
Uh-huh.
Been messing with that basically this whole week. So, but aside from that, I have no other positions. I'm just trying to stay light and on my toes
Yeah, I think
because I
that's,
don't know what can happen.
right. Nimble is the new black. Ronch, what do you got that's bothering you on your sheets?
Nothing bothering me. The mediocrity that Intel is stuck in is actually a good thing for me right now. I've got a half a position long for January, and it's a paid for position. So I'm just carefully looking for spots to write against it and collect premium. I've got a long quarter position on Netflix waiting for that to mellow out to see if I can add another quarter. I have a short-term SPY 450 put for next Monday and a SPY 430 put for February 22nd. So that's what my book looks like at this moment in time.
Yeah, I have, right, I like some put spreads on yesterday's dip for the following Friday, right, the 44, 43s, and, excuse me, and that's it. That's it.
I took a Microsoft condor today, by the way, too.
Did you see the way they bottomed yesterday? It was pretty obvious to me the way they came off the lows. Franz, did you see them? Right, like they kept trying to go down and they wouldn't go down. You didn't see it?
Yeah.
Oh, you saw
Yeah, I
it.
saw.
Yeah. Do you see it yesterday, Ron? And it's like you knew that they were going to go up. It was just a question of how you wanted to play it or, first order of the day, don't get caught. Second order of the day was like, okay, I can buy them.
Don't get caught. That's like every day for me.
Yeah. No, that's smart, right? Like first, don't get caught. Hey, Francie, take this, write this down. Trade what you see, not what you think.
Oh, I know that. I know that since the first day I started trading.
Right? I just wrote that down. It makes a huge thing. And then Jesus said, right, like high probability is more important than big payouts. Like
Yeah.
this, like the setup, right? The setup is more important than the payout. And I
I
thought,
mean, I
go
agree
ahead.
100% with that. My philosophy behind trading is I always look for scenarios that I play out in my head when I'm in a trade. And then whichever scenario plays out a higher probability, I go for that one, whether it be a win or a loss. And I just always carve my path through that philosophy.
So
Right?
Eventually I'll take a loss, but over long term, it'll be high probability that I'm going to be profitable.
What is that, Francie? What is that process that you use and what's important to you?
I mean, I can offer an example. Let's say that let's say I have a con right now, right? And then let's say I'm being squeezed on the upside. I already know for a fact that my put's already worthless, so I'm gonna collect it, right?
Okay.
And then I'm just going to slowly ease off, for example, for the call. And at the same time, I'm gonna write a higher strike. If this was Fugazi and I was getting shaken out, then I'll make back what I lost on the higher call, get out real quick, and then I'll just leave on, and I'll stay with the other one and then rewrite on the bottom. But if I hold and I keep holding and I keep holding, I'm just gonna get squeezed out farther, harder and harder. So I might as well just cut along the way. If I cut and it goes up against me, then I lose less money. But if I decide to hold and it keeps going up against me, then I'm gonna lose more money. On both sides, I'm gonna lose money. But on the cutting one, I'm gonna lose less money. You know what I mean?
So you'd rather cut than adjust for direction going the other way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cut means just exiting a position, I assume.
Just start easing out of a position. Let's say I have 20 lot, I'm just gonna get out of 5. I'm just gonna get out of 5 then if it keeps going up against me. And that's
I
it.
used to do that a lot. Like if I was short and I had to get out, I would get out of a piece of it and a piece of it and a piece of it and a piece of it. And I think what you should try, my experience has been that you'll feel much better about yourself if you get out of a bigger piece.
It all depends. It's also like it's a little bit big. It also depends on the situation at hand, on how many positions I have and on how hard it's being squeezed at. And if like it's just a sudden pop, I can hold a bit more. It all depends, but basically that's the general gist of it.
You know, of course, that a time stop is different than a price stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
So are you guys still looking at the same 4?
I am.
You are.
I am, and
Okay.
I'm messing a bit around with SPX.
With
SPX.
Time out. Same for what?
Four
Stocks.
names, same 4 names. Okay, so to
names.
fill you in, Chris, I only trade 4 names, which is Google, Shopify, Amazon, and Tesla. I stick to techs. The reason I do that is because they all move together.
And do you have a good
Most of the
psychiatrist?
times.
His psychiatrist is Lucci. That's the
I
problem.
mean, for real, like,
But he's a local. He's found a niche and he's a local and he's got great familiarity with those 4 names, and that's the lane that he's comfortable in. Is that fair to say, Francie?
Yeah, that's the main reason why I do it. I've traded these names for so long that I know each corner of them, and I also know their behaviors per se, and how they all move together, and when one's behind, when one's ahead, blah blah blah. All those little things, those little details that make a big difference when you're trading names. Come on, get those. That's what I look for.
when you
those
go
already on
out,
these names.
Francie, when you go out on the town, do your friends say, "What do you think
About what?
about
What
each
do you think
name?"
about what?
Each name.
About 4 names that I trade?
Yeah.
Not really.
Oh, they don't say anything.
No.
And do you ever yell at the screen?
No, man. Calm and steady. Steady.
That's
Steady
true.
hand.
I've seen him.
Really?
I've seen him. He's calm.
Right on.
Steady hand always.
Lucci's the excitable one.
Yeah. He absorbs all my energy. He emits it. I just steady.
Give us a good Lucci story.
A good Lucci story. What, trading wise or office wise?
Yeah, give us a good trading one.
Hey, wait, time out. Have you ever had to throw anybody out of TradeSpace?
Not a trader. No, not really. Actually, but for what reason? For trading? Like
No,
screaming or something?
for like being disruptive or coming in shit-faced or something like that.
We did have to we did have to talk with someone, yeah, but it was all good.
So if somebody gets rowdy or starts yelling at the screen in there, do you tell them to calm the fuck
No,
down?
since the beginning, no, first of all, we don't have to have that conversation because since the beginning, we established to them that, hey, this is a space. And you know that whatever you do is gonna affect the person next to you, right? So whether you have a great trade or a bad trade, you better, keep it cool, because if not, we're gonna talk to you, and we're gonna get you out here. We're gonna get you the fuck out here. In nice words, obviously.
Yeah.
Is Lucci the hatchet man? And I still want to hear a good Lucci trading story.
Hatchet man, what's hatchet man?
Who delivers the news that you're out?
Oh, Hellboy set out for sure, yeah. I'll let you know. Man, good Lucci story, man. I can't shoot. Now I can't. Now I just put me on the spot. I can't think of one. Recently, trading. I mean, there was once when I think he just nailed a good trade in the morning and just like, fuck it, I'm out. And he just went to play beach tennis, but that's not
That's
that well.
weak
That's
sauce.
pretty much, yeah. Yeah, I don't have one for you right now. I'm pretty sure one will come up, and I'm gonna be thinking about it during the time. I don't have one for you right now.
Hey, this is a Misfit happy hour. So do you have a non-traditional background? I mean, you didn't go to Harvard, I take it.
No, I dropped out.
And how were your grades in high school?
Oh, I was a C plus B minus student.
Were you good at math,
Yeah,
right? And you're generally kind of from the streets and curious, right?
yeah, I'm
Perfect.
very curious.
Yeah, you would have gotten a job in the 80s on Wall Street, no question.
Really? Why?
Because that was the model. It was like these people who had a non-traditional background. Think about why. Why would a person who has almost just barely made it through school with a non-traditional background, who's curious, be able to thrive in an uncertain environment? Because if a person had gone to Harvard, or say, let's see, the typical check boxing millennial, your competition, this is your competition in the mating market, by the way, where they go to the private school and they go to the Ivy League school, and then
Yeah.
they've checkbox, right? They have all the proper wardrobe, reference letters, tutors, all that stuff, right? So what they've learned is the way that they're doing things is the way things are done. And so they'll versus us, who, when something doesn't work, we're forced to try something else immediately, right? So in psychological terms, they call that transitional coping skills. We have better transitional coping skills than somebody from a blue chip pedigree background is going to be somebody who's like, I was taught this way, therefore it's the way it works. Does that light a bulb in your head?
Yeah, I follow.
Okay, so when people ask, what's the skill that you have, you tell them that you have a non-traditional background with transitional coping skills. Say that back to me, right?
I have, can you repeat that?
Sure. You have a non-traditional background, right?
I have a non-traditional background.
For sure. And what you have are what you've had to learn are transitional coping skills.
What I've had to learn are transitional coping skills.
Right? That makes sense, right? Like we cope with what's in front of us.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas the person with the blue chip pedigree from Harvard may think that this is the way I was taught, but as you know, stuff moves fast.
Especially in the markets.
Right. So say it again, transitional coping skills.
Transitional coping skills.
Right. That's what you're looking for in anybody else that comes to TradeSpace, is that same skill.
Oh, interesting. I'll take note of that now.
Right on. Right on. And then see it in your own behavior. See how you can move quickly in a situation that's fluid before other people who are somewhat stuck. Isn't that
So,
cool?
Yeah. So Steven Medard here asks, can you speak more on your journey since you follow non-traditional background and have been trading for the past 6 years? Man, I want to answer that real quick.
Yeah, how did you get started?
So the way I got started was I saw a YouTube ad actually about trading currencies, and what attracted to me was the fact that, okay, so I personally, my life goal is I want to buy a jet. I need to buy a jet because I'm passionate about aviation and I want to fly on my own. So I figured that if when I bumped into trading, I could make money through there versus me going through college. It was going to take me X amount of time between X amount of money to have that uncertainty. If I were to save up all that money, it would take me like maybe 40 years to do it. So I was like, nah, it's not the way to do it. So I completely decided to just drop out and figure it out, legit. So I dropped out and I went to work with my mom in the meantime, and I was just trading, 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 trading. As for the journey and the route, there was no route. I had to legit figure it out every single day. Um, Trading wise, looking up at the research online, and eventually over time, I started, fine tuning that skill. But it wasn't really until I reached TradeSpace that like it really, really like went great for me in trading, because I had the mentorship of Lucci and I had the mentorship of other traders here in the office, and that really excelled my trading performance. But to get to here, man, the story between me finding Lucci was a crazy story. So I don't know if you guys want to hear it,
Yeah,
but
well, yeah,
yeah,
totally.
I
the
mean, the question is people are interested in your non-traditional background. So the people are going to be identifying with the struggle out there, everybody out there who's listening, who all of us, me as well, have identified with that non-traditional background. So make sure that that you feel as though you're bringing the rest of us along here on your story, because we've been there.
yeah. So okay, so to backtrack a bit, I was I was studying in college, and as I said, I dropped out. I dropped out and I knew I had to figure it out, but I didn't know how. I just knew that I was going to figure it out. I knew that I was going to figure out, and I knew that no matter what, I wasn't going to give up. So I went out, I started at the learning to trade online, and I just started working and working and working, and it felt like forever. It felt like I was never really going to get out of that hole. Like every time I took a trade, had a good run, then had a bad run, then I had a great run, then I lost that run. And it's like, where am I really going here? Like, what am
Mhm.
I really doing? But one thing I learned along the way was that each loss and each situation was a lesson. And I picked up on it slowly but surely. Then I started journaling myself. Then I started looking at my behaviors when I was trading. Then I started fine tuning that. And um, it's just a lot of that, believe it or not. And it'll come, but you have to keep pushing forward. And then I decided to, all right, let me go out there in the world and try to network and see if I can find someone out there that can, help me out or push me forward, or just, grow in this industry. And so I decided, all right, there's these, networking events and these places where I can probably meet people that might point me in a direction, right? And lo and behold, that's where I met Lucci. I went to one of these events and I was able to sit down. I was able to talk with him. He told me about this idea that he had for TradeSpace and for trading and all that. So I kept in touch with him and we exchanged texts. He was doing the Sang Lucci meets by the time, and then he came back to the island and we met up randomly at a beach on the west coast of the island. Like we didn't even know we were gonna meet up there at like nothing. We just I looked to my left and he's sitting right there. And then I detected that as like, this is the universe providing me an opportunity
There you
to like
go.
to like here he is. You wanted this, you kept looking for this, go for it now. Like now's your time to push. So once I met him and I started talking to him, I brought up the idea again. He's like, all right, let's shoot for it, let's go. And I detected that window and I just hauled ass. Like
Nice.
no excuses, no nothing. It's like go, 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 go. And I feel like for some people, you have to be ready to understand when that opportunity comes, and you have to be ready to execute when it comes, and you won't know what you're going to do. You don't know what you have to do, but you know that you're going to have to execute and figure it out at that moment. And detecting that window will be open a few times during your lifespan, right? But detecting it is the most important part. And once you detect it, it's just going for it, like with nothing behind it, just full on focus 1000%. And to me, I feel like that's what made the big difference. And everybody out there, you'll probably find your window as well. Just make sure that you keep hustling and you keep trading and you keep like improving your skills and what you do, so that when you detect that window, you just take it and you don't think about it and you figure it out once you're in that window.
Right on. Victor Sprandio, we wrote a book called Trader Vic. Used to always say, stay in business, so that because there are days where they're giving it away and you want to be there when they're giving it away. And
Yeah.
so that was a beautiful story, right? And the monks used to always say, true opportunity exists for a finger snap. Like you recognize, right? You recognize that opportunity and you're like, that's the finger snap, you gotta go, right? It's like you see a
Yeah.
pretty girl on the street, you get that one chance and you gotta go that one time, or she's gone forever. So
Yep.
good for you, good for you,
Yeah,
good
that
for
would
you.
detect that window and go for it. It'll
And
come.
right. And then, there was also the thing where you had no going back. You have nowhere to go back to.
Yeah, so I like to, I don't know if it's a good tendency that I have or a bad tendency, but that's the way I like to push myself is I burn bridges, I burn the ship once I want to commit to something. So for example, in kiteboarding, offer this as an example, I went out far into the ocean, and if I didn't know how to make it back, then I was gonna, stay out there and get screwed. So I do those little things that are edgy, but just to make sure that I'm gonna figure it out and come back. If not, then that's it, you're done. I don't advise that to everybody, but that's just the way I do it.
Right.
Don't go out don't go further out into the ocean the first time you
No,
kiteboard.
please do not. You did not heard that from me.
Yeah, right. And just as an aside, what's the water temperature?
Oh, it's warm. I don't know the
Yeah,
temperature, but it's warm. It's nice
right.
down here.
No wetsuit, right?
No wetsuit, not at all. I haven't never
Right.
even worn one.
You don't even have a wetsuit. Fuck you.
Nah.
So,
Oh.
Francie, when you were trading currencies, were you still working full time trying to figure out how you're going to make the trading
Yes.
currencies? What were you doing?
Yes.
What was the work you were doing?
So the way I had it, I was working with my mom at a dry cleaners. She has a dry cleaner, so I was working with her during the day, and then most of my trading would be during the night. So
Wow.
it's
So you're like
I was
ironing
swing
shirts,
trading
bagging them
mostly.
up, and then trying to trade at night.
Yeah, pretty
Wow.
much.
You got to hustle for that. That's hard work, isn't it? Dry cleaning, I can't imagine is fun, easy work.
It's tedious. It's very
Yeah.
detailed as you consume at the, but yeah, I mean, it made it work, man. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Everybody has to do something.
Yeah. No, it's steady income, which is right the opposite of trading.
So from dry cleaning to trading, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I worked in a restaurant, right? I've been a janitor in
I've
an
done all kinds of
elementary
crappy
school
jobs.
and at night and skied during the day. So,
Everybody has to start somewhere. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Get that income, and that income will ease you off of the stress of having to make money.
Francie, let me ask you another question. What do you think as an individual, if for other people trying to do the same thing, where do you think you need to be at account size wise for somebody to say they can depart from their regular 9 to 5 to trading full time? I get asked that question all the time. I think it varies and is different for everybody, but I'm just curious what your take is on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all relative. I think it's all relative to where you're at and how much you spend on a month-to-month basis. Someone that's likes to live like a baller lifestyle, then of course you're not going to be able to make it by with 5 to 10 a month. You're probably going to need a good 25 to 40, or depending on what type of lifestyle you want. Some people are good with making even $5,000 to $6,000 a month, which an account of maybe 100 would be good for you, because that's not even more, like maybe 150 would be okay for you to get out and like live off of that. It's all relative. It's all relative. But if I were to put a number in it, like multiply whatever you want to have as a monthly income times, 1 second here, times 30.
What was
are
the
you
other
single?
times
Wait,
what?
are you single or married?
I'm single.
Okay.
And you've
Why?
got really tight, low expenses. You're not living a baller lifestyle right now, right?
Nah, I'm just hustling.
Yep.
Just hustling, trying to. I mean, I still like to have fun and go kite and stuff like that, but like, nah, I don't like to at the moment, I'm not looking to spend much.
Stacking.
So that's, well, that would be a good rule of thumb for me. Just multiply whatever you want to be making them times like 30, and then you should be good.
Gotcha. Chris, what are your thoughts on that?
I'm trying to remember, like at 26, right? I was driving a 911, like living,
Wow.
right? Living the life and
Wow.
yeah, it
I'm gonna be
was
driving a 911.
right. And you know, all the people in town are looking at you like you're some, you know, some big shot, but eventually, you know, you put a lot of miles on it and you sell it and you buy something. You can't really, you ever try and fit a board in a 911, it just doesn't work.
Oh, I
Unless it's
have
a
a Hyundai.
convertible.
I have a Hyundai Genesis. So imagine trying to fit all my kiteboarding gear in that car. I have to put down the seats, and it's not pleasant.
Right. And so let's see, at 26, you know, it's a pretty easygoing lifestyle, right? I mean, none of your friends are getting married yet? So you're just
Yeah.
out dating around and you're getting to kite and you get to spend a lot of time. I mean, your big responsibilities are basically the holidays, like you have to show up for Christmas and Thanksgiving and things like that. And then you got to show up at work all the time and you can't fuck that up, right?
No, you
Because,
can't.
right, this is the important time, right? This is where you, right, this is where you get to outperform your peers, right? Like your peers who are just kiting all day and you're working at something here. And then in another 5 years, your friends are still kiting and you've actually got a skill besides kiting. And so, you know, what they used to tell me on the exchange was that, you know, you're learning a skill that once that you get, they can never take away from you.
Hmm.
Have you heard that?
I haven't heard it, but I believe it.
Right? Like in a sense, we're becoming a plumber, but it's with a mouse, right? We have a like a blue collar skill, but we're trading. We're learning how markets operate, people's expectations, and or shall we say strategies and things like that. And
I would say it's one of the most valuable skill sets to have, because this just not only goes to the, stock market. This goes to markets in general, be it whatever, housing, shoes, clothes, whatever. Knowing how a market behaves, understanding its psychology and its emotions is quite huge as a skill set in
like
this world.
when you're rolling up your kite and your friends, I used to get this all the time. Like I'd be rolling up my sailing stuff and going back to work here on the exchange when they had the exchange, and my friends would be like, you know, going to Barbados and going, you know, to Silver Sands and riding that, and I would be going back to work, and they'd be like, why are you doing this Wall Street thing? Do you ever get that? Why are you doing this trading thing from your friends?
I used to. Now I don't. I used to get like, oh, what's this trading stuff all about? Whatever. And now it's like, hey, okay, trading. Awesome. Yeah.
Do they see it and think, oh, I want to go do that now too? Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people, do. A lot of people do now. Also, I think it's because trading has become like a big thing within the past 2, 3 years. And it's gotten a lot of attention, a lot of eyes.
Right?
So partly, I
Francie,
think that's why too.
Francie, take a stab at the number of new accounts in the last 3 months at Robinhood.
Um, 4 million.
10 million.
Oof. Everybody trading from their phone.
Right?
10
Good
million.
sound practice there. Let's use the phone as a trading platform. Super, super smart.
Right. So if somebody gives you
Sure.
shit about that, or they ask why you're a trader, you tell them every dollar ever printed needs to be traded to get a return because you get zero at the bank. Right.
Oh, I like that answer.
Right. Repeat that back to me. Every dollar
Every dollar
ever printed
ever printed
needs to be traded
needs to be traded
to get a return.
to get a return.
There you go.
Every dollar ever printed needs to be traded to get a return. Okay. I like that answer.
Yeah. Feel good about your job.
I love my job. I mean, I wake up every day with a smile, so I'm happy. Whether I
Right.
have money or not, like I'm living it.
Right. Isn't that cool? Like you get up in the morning, you're like, hey, I could win the lottery today.
Yeah. Also, shoot, I might be stuck on the position today.
Right. But I mean, if you own a dry cleaner, you generally know what you're going to make.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but I mean, no, yeah, you're right. In a sense, the strategy that I run is kind of like a slow and steady strategy. So I know that overall I'm gonna be pretty chill. Let's just play the turtle.
and what advice would you give to the people that are out there who are looking to do what you've done? Is it worth it, first of all, to try and fail and try and fail and try and fail to get where you
I
are?
think it's worth to do anything you really want in life. No matter how many times you try and fail, because at the end of the day, if you can spend your every day happy doing what you want to do, it's worth it versus doing something that you don't want to do just to make a living. Um, the journey was worth it. Everything is worth it. It's long. It feels never ending. And even when you get there, it will still feel never ending because you're always going to want to achieve something else when you get there. But I would definitely advise everybody to go find or do what it is that you want to do and don't stop till you get it. It's just you're going to live a better, happier lifestyle knowing that you at least even tried.
What were the costs? I mean, where are the scars? Where's the hurt in that?
You're going to have to miss out on a lot. You're going to have to miss out on sometimes going out to parties, on sometimes just going out with friends. You're going to have some long nights. You're going to have to go through a lot of emotional roller coasters.
You never know, right? You don't know if you're going to make it.
And you have to deal with that uncertainty. You have to
Yeah,
deal with that uncertainty every single day that you don't know, you don't know. And you just have
right.
to have basically faith and keep pushing forward and have that relentlessness to not lose, to not give up. And eventually like the world will kneel and it'll give it to you. But
S-
you have to understand that.
Serious question, not disrespectful at all. Did you come from a religious background?
No,
Okay, neither did I, honestly. But yet you see how that we have the faith, like you have to have that faith in like that we can make it through this confusing and uncertain time.
yeah, you have to. Yeah, in my head, I always knew I was gonna get it, but I just didn't know how. I just knew that I have to execute each day to get there. And
Right.
you have to have that because if you don't believe it, no one else will.
Do you have anybody that pats you on the back at the end of a day? I do not.
No,
Yeah. Yeah.
not, I mean, not really.
Yeah. I hear you. Look, anytime you need it, I'm available.
Likewise.
So Francie, did you ever reach a point where you wanted to quit?
I've reached for sure, but not quite. Like I've reached many like rock bottoms per se.
Yeah.
And it was just more like I need to like take a breath, like recenter myself, recalibrate and see what's next. I never really thought of I can't quit. Like I'm very competitive by nature. I was raised with my cousins and we were all very competitive with each other. So that stuck around and I kind of brought it to like life and work. So I can't quit. I don't feel to me quitting is over. That's the end, right? As long as I don't quit, there's a possibility that it can't be done. So I never once thought of quitting. That never crossed my mind. It's always been, all right, I'm in this worst situation. I'm in this shithole situation. I gotta figure it out.
Well, gentlemen, that's a great misfit happy hour here at 5 o'clock. So Francie, that's a beautiful story, man. Keep it up. Anytime you need a hand, just reach out if you have a problem. And
Of course.
I look forward to going with you. If you see a good wind forecast, I'm 200 pounds, so I need to, I need at least
I
17
got two
knots.
kites, don't worry. I
Yeah,
got
no,
two kites. I
no.
got a big kite and a small kite. There's no excuses here.
I got a big floaty board and a 5.8, oh no, 5.5, so I can make it in. If the trades are blowing 18, I'm there. Anyway, for everybody who joined us, thank you very much. Francie, come to New York as well in
Oh,
the
I will.
summer,
I
right?
will visit for sure.
In the summer where you don't need a wetsuit.
Thanks
And
for
This
coming
summer,
on,
I don't know.
Francie.
I'm pretty sure I'm still gonna need a wet team this summer.
and but I hope everybody enjoyed it, and signing off from this end. Bye, you guys.
Thanks, Francie. Appreciate the time, man.
Of course, you guys. Thanks for having me.
All right.
Later.
Talk to you later. Bye.